Hello? Hello, 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 hello. It's been a little bit. Been a little bit. And as always, just constantly exhausted. What a pain. What a pain. Actually get my earbuds in. Alright. Let me just make sure everything is buttons up and in order. Yeah, it looks good, I guess. I don't know. Let me see, am I actually live? Always gotta check. Sometimes you think you're live and you're actually not. Nope, look at that, I am live. Let me just hear myself talking for a little bit. Yep, that's me. Alright. Oh, I'm so tired. Let's get started. Here, look at this. It is, well, actually I don't want to be opening this one. I want to be here. So let me just clone this bit. Clone empty repository. Appear to have cloned an empty repository. Yep, that's right. Completely intentional. So one of the last things I think I need to do is set up a GitHub workflow, GitHub workflows for GDMP, and then I can start using it like a normal person, or like a sane person. Maybe not like a normal person, but like a sane person. So it's always useful to have automation. GitHub. Enable the YAML and extension. You can do it. There we go. Red Hat, disable, enable workspace. Let me see. I think it's just workflows. Oh, actually, why am I looking at this one? I should be looking at the workflow I set up for OpenCFace. Here. I know it says it's under the OpenCFace thing, but I wrote this. Look at that. Oh, baby. I know what I'm doing sometimes. So, YAML. I guess we'll just call it like build. Build.yaml. YAML. Now something I don't usually see. I don't usually see YAML files start with the 3 dashes at the top. At least for workspaces. Or not workspaces, workflows. Build. Don't build it on push. Well, we do want to build it on push, but workflow dispatch. And then you can set, hold on. There's a specific thing that you can do, or a few specific things that you can do to customize it. Workflow dispatch. So you need a way to define versions. I think it has to be on workflow dispatch, unless you just set like an environment variable somewhere, but I don't think that's a good idea. So where should I put it then? I guess we'll just put it in workflow dispatch. So let me see, workflow dispatch. And I'm doing this kind of the brute force way, instead of developing it locally using act, which is a fancy Docker container. And it has to be a Docker container. It cannot just be a container, unfortunately. Because I have Podman set up. And from my experience on Linux, Docker and Podman don't play nice when they're on the same system. Workflow dispatch inputs. So inputs. Godot tarball? Yeah, I guess a tarball, maybe? Because otherwise I'm not sure where you would even get the binary from. Now I guess it has to be a tarball. Or actually, what's the latest chocolatey package for Godot? Chocolatey Godot for... What do you got? Okay, so they actually do have 403. Okay. So if it's just kind of here, packaged about a week ago, or at least it was approved as a trusted package about a week ago. Version history. Yeah. About a week ago. I think it's a bit older than that. But let me see. Tarball URL. So this is type. What is it? String? URL to Godot tarball defaults to chocolatey package left empty. So we can put required false. Just, it's better to be specific in my opinion. I think that's good. Workflow inputs. So description required, defaults. Oh, sorry. So there we go. Jobs. Build Windows. Runs on, what does this run on? Windows latest. Yeah, sure, why not? Windows latest. What is Windows latest and Windows latest 8 core? What's the difference? Besides like one of them having 8 core and the other one just being latest. GitHub workflow, Windows latest 8 core. What does that mean? Larger hosted runners. Oh, okay. You have to pay for that. Makes sense. Didn't I have... I set this up for vpuppr, right? To just, Yeah. So you don't need to define it manually. Although you could if you wanted to. Alright, so hold on. So the way you can do this, it's a bit fancy in my opinion. You can do it like Strategy. Fail fast. True. Why not? Matrix. Include. OS. Windows latest. Sure. Give me. What is this? What the heck? OS. Ubuntu latest, and I'm just gonna assume it's not gonna work for Mac, but it might. It might. What is it? What is it called? Let me see. Runs on Mac. Mac OS latest. Okay, we can try on Mac OS latest just to see if it'll build. I kind of doubt it will. Actually, I'm seeing that these are, what the heck? These are wrong. Okay, runs on Mac OS latest. Nope, it's going to be a little fancy replacement matrix OS. Because we really only need to define it once, right? Because it's the same build steps no matter what, more or less, probably. So name, check out, repo uses, actions, okay, with submodules, recursive. I'm kind of copying the vpuppr stuff right now. There's one other thing that I need to keep in mind for actions checkout. I just need to remember what the difference is. Actions checkout. GitHub actions checkout. Sure. And version 3 is the latest. And then we have repository. So if you leave repository open or undefined, then it'll just pull the current repository, but there's nothing in the current repository, which is why I need to actually define it here. Where is GDMP? GDMP. GDMP. So this is U. Repository U at ref branch tag or SHA to check out. I think this should be it. Got to remember with YAML, you do need to remember to, it's considered best practice to wrap all strings with quotes, especially if there's punctuation, because sometimes it doesn't like punctuation. But of course, I'm not going to follow best practice, because best practice is for nerds. Also, I'm curious why the formatting is so messed up here. It's like this YAML extension is dying. I don't quite understand. Restart. Wait, hold on. Reload. Reload window. So check out repo name. Install Git If you feel spicy, there's an official GitHub workflow action for VS Code now. Is there? Workflow. GitHub workflow. GitHub actions. Okay. What does this do though? Manage your workflows. Workflow run history. Flow authoring. Oh, This could be interesting. Appreciate it, Zuli. How are you doing today? Syntax highlighting. Don't really need syntax highlighting. Does it give me documentation? I think I already kind of have built-in documentation, but that's mostly from the Red Hat YAML extension, I guess. Code complete. Meh. Smart validation. Oh, okay, so it gives you... Okay. Could be neat. Sign in with your GitHub account. Open a GitHub repository. I suppose. Syntax feature, supported feature. Manage your workflow and runs. I don't know. Oh, we can give it a try. We'll sign in live on stream. So enable workspace. Probably want to disable YAML. So reload me. It might give you more documentation. I didn't try it yet. This doesn't work with enterprise. That's fair. Luckily, I just do open source like a nerd. Authorize Visual Studio Code. Sure. Enter my authentication code. Why not? It's on another screen. Yeah, no, my company has their own kind of thing. And also they use GitLab, so I guess it's completely irrelevant here anyways. But I don't know. My experience with GitLab Actions is not great. Oh, what the heck? Sure, open it. Or maybe, no. Well, GitLab Actions are fine. But the plugins that we use are just garbage. I guess that's not relevant either. All right, so I think I'm here. What am I looking? Unable to connect the GitHub API. Oh, okay, here we are. Current branch, there's no branch. Workflows, no workflows. All right, thanks for nothing. Install Godot. So, I guess it's gonna give me code completion on this stuff then. So, all right. I've written a few actions before. Like vpuppr uses an action that I wrote. It's not great, but it's good enough. And then OpenCFace, which I guess I'm not really affiliated with it, but I did write a few patches and whatnots and the action for it. So I know enough. Oh, hello. There's a problem with Linux. It doesn't save the Python path. So, oh, you know what? I think I did see that in Discord. And then I took a nap and then I forgot. Izard? I don't think you need to specify the Python path unless you are actually trying to run it manually. But even then, I don't think that should be necessary. So does it just work without specifying the Python path? I think that's just kind of a holdover from the before times. Because in the before times, OpenCFace did not really run like that on Linux. So then I had to specify the Python path, and I would manually kind of run it, the Python scripts for OpenCFace like that. But OpenCFace nowadays has precompiled binaries for Linux. So that's what it should be using. So the UI option for a Python path is still there. It just needs to be removed. But I have I'm currently porting to Godot 4 anyways. So, I mean, it sucks to hear, but I just have no will to work on the Godot 3 version. CFace is not working for me. I thought it was that. Are there any... So on Linux, it should be under... Let me just see. We're here, might as well check Godot file paths. So on Linux, the logs are stored in the default location, which is, yeah, so under this path here, I'll just post that. So under your home.local share Godot app user data, probably virtual puppet project might be just under vpuppr. It's been a little while. And then there should be a logs directory, and then hopefully you have some sort of like error message. But it's most likely not Python path. It might be though. Hopefully not. Because it should just work. And then like it also begs the question, are you using the Flatpak version, or are you just using the downloaded version from GitHub, or did you build it yourself? Because if you built it yourself, it's definitely not going to work. Because you do need to pull in a few of the required packages. Unless you did already run the setup extensions part, in which case it should be there. All right, let me see if... Hold on, how do you check inputs? Workflow... Where is it? Actions checkout. How do I get... Is it just available under input? I have too many windows open and now I've lost it. Was it here? No, this is Godot. Still need this because I want to pull from Chocolatey. If that's not there. I don't really need this, but it's nice to have. I'm using the OR package. Oh, so the OR package might not be up to date. I don't maintain that. I'm not even sure who maintains that anymore. I think on Linux, I would recommend using the Flatpak package, which is more or less up to date, or the GitHub release, and then you'll just need to put that under like user local bin or whatever. Or when I'm using Linux, I actually just have a bin directory in my user directory, which is somewhat non-standard, but you know, I think it's cleaner. I would try that. Yes, I would recommend. I think the OR package is very old. I haven't checked though. What is it called? It's if. Yeah, it's just if. And then is it just inputs? Yeah, inputs. Godot tar. Oh, there we go. Godot tarball URL. How do I check if it's empty? Does this use Jinja 2? I need to check. GitHub workflows if short. I typed in Godot workflows. GitHub workflows. What do you got? How do I check if it's empty? Empty, please. Empty. Empty. It says parse from any legal. Sure. Probably empty, if I had to guess. Starts with empty, please. Empty, empty. Empty, empty. Nothing. Okay, so loose equality comparisons. Empty string returns 0. Okay. From Chocolatey. All right. I guess we'll see if that works. Choco. I also don't know what the Chocolatey syntax is. Choco. Yeah, okay. Let me see. Because I use Scoop. I've always used Scoop. Scoop search Chocolatey. Can I install Chocolatey from Scoop? That would be kind of weird. I love Windows and how it has, I think, 3 big package managers. So Chocolatey is one of them, Scoop is the other big one, and then Microsoft just has its own official thing. But GitHub uses Chocolatey in its GitHub Actions. So all kinds of twisted up. Okay, I didn't think I would be able to, or unless I misspelled it. Is it, or is it Choco? GitHub Actions Chocolatey. So I don't really know how to use Chocolatey. Yeah, and I also do not want to install it on my system, because then I would have 2 package managers just kind of hanging out. Package, let me see. Installing tools, sure. What do you got? Choco install. So you probably want something like Choco install. How do you define a version? Can you just tell me this without me needing to install it? Okay. Chocolatey. I don't want to install it. Okay, so install. And I'm assuming that you can give me versions as well. Or I guess it just looks for the latest one. So, and the latest one is just called Godot. That's OpenCV, which I also need. Choco install Godot. So I don't know, just give it a try. So that name. Download. Extract Godot. It's not 0. All right, so I'm assuming it has curl. I should really learn how to use wget instead. That's fine. And then also it's curl, and you need to pass capital R, right, for it to follow. How does curl follow redirects again? Curl follow redirect. Yes. Oh, it's L. So inputs Godot tarball URL tar.gz, and then Godot provides them all as tarballs, right? Or is that not right? Godot GitHub. So here, are these tarballs or are these zips? These are tars. No, these are zips. And actually, this isn't even a tar.gz. This is a tar.xz. How about this? Are these tarballs? Sure. Give me download the latest for where? Linux. All right, good guess. Oh, okay, so these are all just zip files. Okay. Godot. Well, hold on. No, because that really throws a wrench in all my plans, huh? Because now I can't just reuse the same workflow for all of them. Right? Because I'm pretty sure Ubuntu Godot 4, sure. So what does Ubuntu have in its repositories? So it's in the Snap store, but I'm hoping it's not pulling a snap. It might be pulling a snap though. Oh, actually, it looks like it's really old because it's from the 29th of March. Oh, that's not good. That's really old. Oh no. Okay, let's think about it. So this is a zip file. You know what? Has to be a zip file. Easy. Zip. defaults to package manager if left empty. Zip. Then unzip, unzip. And then make directory. Well, no, we can just leave it here, I guess, right? Not sure what happened. I deleted the logs, opened the app, and now it's working. Oh, that's fantastic. It's just that easy. I don't really have an answer for you. Sometimes it do be like that. It do be like that sometimes. Unzip Godot, and this gives you a binary, and then what do I do with this binary? Because now it's just kind of on my path, but it's not named correctly. So I really don't like using bash. Maybe I can just write some inline Python. Aren't you allowed to just write inline Python for GitHub workflows? Not this. I keep closing it when I really should just leave it open. GitHub workflow shell. Oh, what do you use for chatters to show up at the bottom of the screen? I am using this. I wrote this. You can, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it sounds familiar to me. Hold on, do I have overlay set? I do. I wrote this. I wrote this a long time ago, which is why it's a bit jank. For example, you're allowed to do, if there's too many people on screen and then you redeem a jump command like this, hopefully it works. Yeah. So jump applies a very quick upward force to all chatters and then also enables collision. So if there's too many people, you can actually clip out of bounds. Because usually what happens is you just kind of, oh, yeah, like that. I just threw myself out of bounds and then I will never come back. But usually what happens is you just kind of bounce off the sides. So it's buggy, but it is free and open source. So if you want to try to figure it out, I think that it's pretty poorly written for sure. But all right. Anyways, let me see the Python stuff. Python. Does it just use built-in Python? Nothing. Sure. Please don't give me dev2. That's the only thing the one website I really do not like looking at. Because I feel like whenever I look at dev2, then I get fed more dev2 articles, and they're all like just clickbait. All right, executes the Python command, runs a Python script. All right. I think that's what I want. So name. What am I doing here? Oh, thanks for the follow, by the way. Sleepy Shaman Games. Probably written just like my code. Exactly. It's just like this code here. Also poorly written. It's being rewritten for Godot 4. I guess I might as well show off what I have right now. It's not great because I've just been super demoralized from banging my head against the wall. But now I have a path forward, so just wait for it. How cool. Wow. And then you can load in just this. Very quick whatever. This is just PNG tuber stuff because it's very simple to implement. VRM stuff is on the way, blah, blah, blah. Actually, you know what? I haven't tried it. Maybe it worked. Nope. Never mind. It failed. But anyways, yeah, tracking works, blah, blah, all that good stuff. So I ported over lots of the important bits. All this stuff needs to be done programmatically. Right now, it's just all hard-coded. But meow face, OpenC face, and then meow face is just fancy VTube Studio or vice versa. And then you can do mic input like that, blah, blah. So this is enabled. This actually used to be in a really early version of vpuppr, not the current version. I didn't get around to implementing it, but now I've re-implemented it. And now also, because it's Godot 4, you have multi-window supports. You know, insert SpongeBob meme here. Future. Yeah. But what I'm doing right now is I'm writing a GitHub workflow for GDMP, which is Godot mediapipe, which is Google mediapipe, which is a very fancy face tracking, body tracking solution. So I submitted a few PRs to make it easier to run. Or make it, I submitted a few PRs to the GDMP repo, and then GDMP repo is here. Let me see. Here, I guess. If you want to look at that, it's for Godot 4, pretty easy. Made a few enhancements to the setup stuff. So now all you need to do is pass in a path to your Godot binary if you're on Windows or on Linux. And then there's a few other patching stuff that you need to figure out, but you know, it's not for beginners, that's for sure. Yeah, so I'm writing a workflow here so that I don't need to build all this stuff myself, because it's kind of the same problem as with OpenC Face. I wrote this, by the way. Not OpenC Face, but the workflow, because generating the workflow myself is a huge pain and very error prone. So I'd rather just have a pipeline to do it. So yeah. It's going to be the same problem with GDMP, so which is why I'm writing this now. You could do. I could do, yes. I could do. I could do, probably should do as well. Rename zipped binary. It's a shell. It's not really a shell. And then run. So what am I looking for here? I'm assuming this just runs in the user directory, but I think you would want like import. It's been a very long time. Hold on. Select a language. Sure, select a language. Give me Python, please. Okay, so let's turn on linting really quick for Python, because I have no confidence in myself. So what are you trying to do with Python? I like that. Well, yeah, so the problem with this, so if you're downloading a binary, which I think I do need to do for Linux targets, because the Godot binary on Linux is too old, or the version that's present in the repos is too old. So the way that it's zipped is that it's, or at least I'm pretty sure it's zipped like that. Hold on. Let me just give that a try really quick. Maybe I don't need to do this at all. So curl, redirect, whatever this is. Oh, sorry. Whatever this is, I'll put godot.zip. And then unzip. Ooh. Yeah, see? It extracts it as this, which is not useful. But what I think I can do, very simply, is take whatever, not this, whatever this zip URL is, and then chop off the extension, and then just get the file name from that. Is that a folder or a binary? It is a binary. And also, it will not run on this file system. It will not run on this OS because I have downloaded the Linux one. Yes, it's an ELF. But what I think I can do here, pretty easily, I'm assuming that it's pretty easy to do in Bash as well. I'm just not confident in my Bash skills. Like, I gotta check really quick. How do you do this? So it would be called like I don't remember. Python rename file. I never remember how to do all this simple stuff. Okay, it really is just import os rename whatever to whatever. Okay, so rename this to this, and then I also need to grab, well, actually I don't need to grab anything, right? The only thing after that is, you know, we'll just call it my file for now. So, I don't know, was it Godot x86 64 zip? Actually, I don't need to import OS at all, but I'm just going to keep it here just so I remember. So my file, is it L strip? Or it's not L strip, it's L right strip. Zip. So then my file, like that, and then we'll just print my file real quick. Oh, sorry. Ah! Test pi. Test. Wait, where did I? Oh, I've saved it under GitHub workflow. Don't do it. That's Python test pi. Yeah, okay. Godot x86 64. Beautiful. Get yeeted. Don't need Python anymore. So import OS. Wait, I still needed that. Whatever. Go file. Oh, not supposed to do that. Oh, I'm assuming that I just can't use any colons. Or if I do use a colon, I need to escape it. Okay, that's fine. So inputs Godot zip URL. And actually, wait. I'm stupid. So imports OS. I still need to look up this stuff. My file. It's equal to whatever. Then my file, because it's a URL, right? So is there like a get file? File name? File. I know Godot has that. How do you get the file from a Python file? Or how do I get the file from a path? Python get file name from path. Very common question, which is also why I'm just extraordinarily bad at programming interviews. I don't remember how to do any of this stuff off the top of my head. OS path base name. They'll give me probably base name. Yeah, okay. So OS path base name. And so OS rename Godot file, and then OS path base name R strip. So, yeah, okay, that's probably fine. I have no idea. Give that a save. Disable, reload me. Then one more time. That's how you do this. Okay, cool. It's not 0 because there's no better way to do that. The heck? And then what? Then what? Thinking. I guess that's enough. Yeah, and then we can just run through the rest of the stuff. Run setup. Pi. See, this sucks. Reload my window. Why does this keep giving me the wrong indentation? Yeah, see, what the heck? Or is it because I'm at the wrong indentation level? So I prefer using this indentation level, but we can do it your way, sure. No, it's because I was using the wrong indentation level. I hate YAML. I hate YAML with a passion. Even though YAML is like what I write at my day job. And they have the audacity to call it programming. Alright. So we've checked this out into the current directory, which means that we should have access to setup.py. Then we can just run. It does already have a shebang, but it's just easier to manually call Python. Python setup py Godot binary. Oh no. Because you don't want to use Godot binary if they're well, that's probably fine. No, it's not probably fine at all. If you have Spicy, you can pretend this is JSON and write a JSON thing. I'm not going to. I feel like it's just easier. Like, why not just have this entire thing just be Python? Right? Because most likely what's like parsing this is, or at least just like Python or JavaScript. Because probably what's parsing this is just Python or JavaScript anyways. Right? Like, why write something like this? Like, this is already basically like programming. You might as well just go all the way. You know? I'm mad. See? It gives me the wrong indentation. What's the point? Alright. Set up pi. And actually, that's really it. All right. Wrong indentation again. Having a good time. Godot zip URL 0 shell Python setup pi. Oh, but then it also varies by host, because if it's on Windows, you do need to run it slightly differently. Godot bin, what is it called? Hold on, I just gotta check this over here. Godot binary. Oh, and actually, I don't need to rename this to anything, right? Oh, actually, no. I need to do it from this one to just call it Godot. Current directory. Yeah, and then if it's on Windows, you also have a very specific set of requirements. Oh, this is fantastic. So I kind of hope that the extension would do this for you. There's so many special YAML formats, so honestly expect IDE support for most of these. Yeah. I think it's nice that it's giving me like code completion for inputs. It's just like the formatting is so painful to work with, in my opinion. And then also the fact that, okay, Windows is just slightly different. I think Unix That's fine. And then building on Windows just has to be special. Please. Build GDMP Windows strategy. It's not giving me code completion. You know what? I'm sorry. At least the YAML extension was giving me code completion. Get uninstalled. Or it was giving me code completion for the easy stuff. I don't really care about variable code completion, but because I know what my variables are. Right, just give me the Red Hat one. At least the Red Hat one also formatted it properly. It's not your fault. Runs on. I'm sorry. Runs on. Sorry. Apparently code completion just doesn't work for me at all anymore. That's very cool. Windows latest steps. And I am aware that you are generally able to share steps if you were to pack them into like an actions folder, and then you can share them between workflows, but whatever. We'll get around to it. When you write a workflow file, you would obviously want to write a workflow file. You should autocomplete most of the stuff you want. Try to run both at once. So that one doesn't touch your formatting? Yeah, maybe. I don't care. We're already like halfway there. So like set up pi, and then what this does is well, this one pulls all the stuff recursively. So it pulls the GDMP repo for 4.0 tag, and then also all the submodules recursively, so I don't need to do anything else there. I do need to ensure that Godot is present on the machine, and then in a path where it's accessible, and then we run the setup scripts, which applies patches and then also copies directories into somewhere. And you know what? I do need to do, oh no. I'm just realizing now. I can't do the Unix Windows thing either, because I need to make sure that OpenCV, a specific OpenCV, well, yeah, I think it has to be a specific OpenCV version, right? Because if I open up GDMP by itself, oh, actually, no. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, because it's only for Windows, because Windows sucks. That's right. Okay. But no, because I still need to install from a package manager. Yeah, that's fine. So name install OpenCV. If how do I check what my OS is? GitHub workflow check OS. If matrix OS runner context. Let's do runner context. I suppose this doesn't really matter. And actually, I guess I'm doing this kind of weird as well. I should just be able to do strategy, matrix, and like OS, Ubuntu latest, Mac OS latest. And then I can just check here. So if matrix OS is Ubuntu latest, then we do shell bash apt install. What is it called on Ubuntu? Ubuntu OpenCV. I suppose I also could just check Debian. It's probably the same thing. Oh, hold on. Fat fingered that. There we go. Apt search OpenCV. Thanks for nothing. Is it just called lib opencv? It might just be called lib opencv, because that's opencv doc, opencv data. Don't need any of that. Gstreamer libcv. Maybe I should just check. We'll install opencv. No, I don't need opencv Python. Sure, Linux hint. Lib opencv dev. Okay, so is that here? Lib opencv. Oh wait, yeah, it is right there. What do you know? Sorry. Q. So apt install lib opencv dev. And then I don't think I need Python 3 opencv, but I might. We'll keep it like that for now. Install. Ubuntu. Yeah, Matrix OS. Mac OS. Brew install. Okay, so what is homebrew opencv? Although this is not something I believe has been tested to work at all, but it might work. Yeah, it's just called opencv. Oh, but it's 4.7. That's fine. And then, hold on. What are the pre-installed things on GitHub runners? GitHub runners pre-installed software. Do they have Bazel? Pre-installed software. I have like too many windows open. All right. So Mac OS 13, not super important. Is Bazel on here? Bazel. Okay, so Bazel is on Ubuntu. How about here, Bazel? How about Windows Server? Got Bazel? All right, so everyone has Bazel. So we only need to grab opencv. Wait, opencv? Okay, I didn't think so. So here, check out repo. It's really the only thing. Chocolatey. I think you have to, no. Well, no, you do need to do it like this. So from Chocolatey here, install Godot from package manager. I don't think it's gonna work like that. Yeah, because like GDMP relies on a specific Godot version. So for a specific thing, you can just say like if inputs Godot zip URL is not 0. But on Windows, you can just try to install from Chocolatey. Or you know what? Sorry. No automatic stuff. Required true. No. Why make it complicated? Since it's going to be build on push anyways, right? You don't need to have a build matrix, right? All right, so there we have it. Well, now that we're like this, I guess you might as well. What a waste of time. Well, yeah, no, okay, let's do it like that. This just in developer is unable to come to a concrete decision. And honestly might not be a trustworthy source of information. Matrix OS, Windows latest, sorry, Windows latest. Love writing workflows, yeah, me too. It's like, honestly, like workflows, I like writing pipelines, but writing pipelines with real programming languages. It's just, I hate YAML so much. YAML sucks. Choco install. Choco install version. Yeah, like this might be a hot take, but I actually don't mind writing Jenkins pipelines in Groovy. Like they kind of suck. I mean, let's be real, but at least it was a real programming language, you know? $410, 410, is it it's 410 something, right? It's not 410, it's 410. 411? 410. 410. Matrix OS is not Windows latest. And then if it is Windows, hold on. Because I'm Windows centric, I always do Windows first. I feel a bit groovy about that statement. This is basically bash with markup. Yeah, it is basically bash with markup. I do know that you are able to write like Node.js pipelines, I guess, and then import that Node.js pipeline and then just run that instead of GitHub workflow. But it's like, I suppose. Maybe I should actually look into doing that. But for now, OS. And actually, isn't it GitHub workflows, you're not supposed to use double quotes? Or am I just imagining that? Or misremembering that? And or just making that up? Godot binary. Godot. It doesn't need to have the correct file extension. Because Godot will, well, Windows doesn't care, probably. Maybe it does care. But then OpenCV install directory, is that what I called it? Open custom OpenCV directory. Custom OpenCV directory. So where's all this stuff? Yeah, like you're able to install. What are all the switches? see here, this is what I'm looking at, by the way. Oh, thank you, thank you. I did see something about configuring the install directory. I just need to find it somehow. x86, no. Install directory, probably not. I would like to just install it in my root directory. Or whatever the home directory is, that would be beautiful. Download cache, virus, no. Install directory override, yes. Provide the default installation directory. Chocolatey will automatically determine the type of installer and pass the appropriate arguments to override the install directory. Package must use it. Oh. 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 Well, okay. Where does Chocolatey install packages then? Chocolatey install directory. Chocolatey Windows. Is there a way to list Chocolatey packages with their install directory? Sure. Do what you're asking, but where are they all installed? It's program data, Chocolatey. Not really. Get content? Nope. Program. Oh, is it just in program data, Chocolatey bin? Is it just in Chocolatey bin? Where is the Chocolatey installation path? I know I'm on Windows, and I know I could install Chocolatey, but I really don't want to install Chocolatey. I don't want it to break my current installation, which sounds ridiculous, but that's actually what happened on my last computer because I had both Scoop and Chocolatey installed, and then some wires got crossed somewhere, and then I just had to reinstall. So because it happened once, never again. Not while I'm still doing stuff. Where are Chocolatey packages installed? Install lib. I don't know what this means. Most package contents will be installed to the Chocolatey directory, which you can find at program data Chocolatey lib. Python tools. Okay, sure. And you'll also find a shim. Okay. So like that. Program data, Chocolatey. Oh, you know what? It might not even be on C. Don't GitHub runners run it on the D drive? Like that? And then it's probably OpenCV. Because I know for Scoop, it installs it like that. We'll just hope that's good enough. Name, run, build GDMP. So this one doesn't really matter. There is one thing I do need to do beforehand, and that's to do, because we're running this in Bash. Oh no, because it it matters. Okay, so if matrix OS is Windows latest, we need to do source VNV scripts activate. Right, that's what I have here. Under GDMP VNV, yeah, scripts, and then there's just an activate. Okay. Build Pi desktop. GDMP Unix. Matrix OS is not. Bash. run. So right. And the reason why I'm not just doing these as separate commands, isn't it like GitHub Actions also runs these as like completely different shell tasks? So any changes to env vars that you might make in one task don't actually bleed over to other ones, which in theory is good, but when you're trying to have all these things kind of work in tandem, it's kind of a pain because you have a lot of code duplication. Python build like that. Yeah, that might be fine. And so I guess I'm just gonna push GitHub. Oh, sorry, rm do. Well, you know what? Might as well just make a README as well. Workflow test for building GDMP. And the reason why I'm doing this also, not in the GDMP repo, but in a separate repo, is because I don't think that there's a way to run workflows from different branches if they're not like your main branch. And then because the GDMP repo doesn't have any workflows configured at all, it means that it's kind of hard to test. So instead I'll just do it like this for now, and then then it's easier to test later, because then I don't need to change my branches or whatever. Basically, it's a very small gotcha, but a gotcha nevertheless. What do you mean run from different branches? So usually workflows only run on whatever your main branch is, right? So if you don't have a workflow on your whatever your main branch is configured to be, you're not able to actually run that action, right? So if I wanted to test it in like the main GDMP repo, or I guess the fork of the GDMP repo that I have, which is here, right? There's no actions. Oh, I guess I do have actions because I had previous workflow inputs, but because there's nothing here, you generally are not able to run them, right? Because there's no action to run anymore. Or is that wrong? Because I remember that used to be a thing. So what you would need to do is push that workflow to a different branch, change whatever your main branch is, and then you can start running actions off of that. But that's kind of a pain, because then I need to switch it back afterwards. But maybe that's just me being a baby. But I figured it was probably easier just to create a completely new repo and then pull that other repo as kind of like a test, you know? It's hard to explain. Also, I just noticed, why is it, it says senpai? Was that me? Oh, it's because I have my default new repo name set to senpai. Okay. Way back in the day when that was actually like a thing people were worried about. That might be a bit insensitive, but I don't know. It's like in my opinion, changing the whatever the name is of the branch is kind of virtue signally. It's like, who's worried about that? Who asked for this? Oh, you know what? This isn't gonna work. Because what's going to happen is it'll try to run it using this zip, and then it's going to fail 2 out of 3 times. That's fine. Let me just kick off a build really quick. We can change that. We can fix it. And actually, you know what? Yeah. Oh, because it's fail fast. So it tries to build the first one, which is probably Windows. Or it's an invalid workflow thing. Oh, it is the double quotes, right? Hold on. Hold on. I'm 90% sure now that it's the double quotes. We should just a transition to that, yeah. It's quirky, etc., etc. I still use master for all my stuff because that's the default on pretty much every system. Whenever it says senpai, because I don't usually have it set to senpai unless I create a repo here in GitHub first and then pull it down. It messes me up though, because all my work stuff also uses master or whatever. It's only configured in like GitLab or Bitbucket or whatever where they changed it to main. Yeah, everyone moved over to main because they thought it would be more, I guess, quote unquote less offensive. But I don't know, it's you know, who asked for this? You know, like there are things I get, right? Like if you work with like Kubernetes, right? We used to call them like master nodes and slave nodes. It's like, yeah, okay. I can see why we changed that. Or like something I agree with a bit less, but I still see why we changed it is like whitelist and blacklist. Like sure, now it's allow list and deny list, but from master to main, it's master copy. It's not it's not supposed to be anything weird. You know, but definitely like master node and slave node, that is a bit weird. Even if it is like very, very accurate to how it actually works, right? Because it's, you know, I suppose true to history. Yeah, there's not really a great way to do this, huh? Main a lot in retrospect. Main makes a lot of sense. I mean, does it though? I mean, master doesn't refer to a master-slave relationship in terms of like Git repositories. It refers to master copy, which is a more of an engineering term where it's the final copy of something. Or like the definitive copy of something. I'm trying to remember if master in Git was a holdover. No, it's not. it's the basically like the definitive copy of something. It's an engineering term, like master slave node, and like talking about servers or, you know, container runtimes, sure, because it refers to the fact that, you know, slave nodes need to listen to master nodes and they have no say in it. I mean, calling it a control node and a worker node, it's not really it doesn't have the same impact, but I guess people still understand what it means. Except we still call it killing worker nodes, so I'm not sure anything has really changed there. I guess now it's less like master slave focused and it's more focused on like, why are we killing our workers, etc., etc. Down with the bourgeoisie, proletariat, rise up, blah blah blah. It's not URL to Godot zip. It should just be Godot version, and then we need to what a pain, dude. What a pain. What a pain. Because there's no just one way to grab this stuff. It's the URL is this. So I see what I need to replace. I need to replace the version here, and then I also need to replace this and this depending on the OS. So the easiest way would be to actually don't use a matrix. Or maybe like the download and extract part needs to be in separate steps, and then I just need to do it like that. Are you sure it wasn't a holdover from the previous CVS? Not that it actually matters. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not. This is just people, yeah, this was discussed at the time. It's a misunderstanding of where master slave comes from. It's like revisionist history. I remember the discussion that was going on at the time for sure. So I guess people are free to do what they want, but I don't think that's correct to say that it came from the master-slave relationship. But if the word master is offensive, then whatever, you can change it. But I'm gonna keep doing whatever the defaults are doing. Let me see. Hopefully that's not a hot take, but download and extract. I gotta think. I'm sure there's a good way of doing this as opposed to having to do this over 3 things. You know what? Let's just do this the bad way first. So fail fast. Nope. We'll fail very slowly, so we'll fail twice. And then we'll just figure it out. Fix workflow. Sorry. Yeah, I suppose it's possible that GNOME, like another version control system, might have used like master slaves, because it isn't like SVN has a different concept of it, but hasn't Git always used master for master copy? It's possible that, you know, SVN or whatever the other earlier ones were had a different naming scheme, but yeah. It was built for the Linux kernel, yeah. So it was a bespoke thing for something very specific. Once they grew out of their previous one? Was there a previous? What version control did Linux use previously? What version control did Linux kernel originally use? vpuppr VCS? Okay. I've never heard of vpuppr VCS. vpuppr is the one that this is referencing. Oh geez. vpuppr free use. Then he wrote his own thing. And then if we look back at this, does this mention vpuppr? It does. Master for its main branch. Same. So slave repositories. There's main branch. So there's slave repositories. It isn't even a master copy. Oh, you know what? You might have a point then there. You might have a point then. Interesting. Well, whatever. I suppose if that was the intent of how Git does it, then, you know, then that is concerning for sure. Then my opinion changes. But if, I don't know, like if they kept the master name, but it was like, it's just because it's called master, then whatever. If it was written because it's, if Git uses master because it's supposed to model a master-slave relationship, then that's problematic, I guess. But if it was just called master because vpuppr used it, and then they decided that Git wanted it to be like the master copy, then that's a different case entirely. But I'll leave it to various internet historians to figure that out. Oh, don't create a new workflow, please. All right. So give me Linux. We're just going to fail really quickly. I'm thinking what I have to do is unfortunately split this into 3 workflows, or at least have 3 different types of download and extract, because there's 3 different OSs that this could potentially run on, which is a pain. Probably had it as a holdover because it's easier. Yeah, that's what I would assume. Like, it wasn't meant to be master slave, even if the original one was meant to be master slave. But did I not? Ubuntu latest, line 43, line 48. Is this not how you're supposed to do it? Am I crazy? Like, this is how you're supposed to do it, right? To check for the OS that you're currently running on. No? All right, just type that really quickly. I'm having a lot of fun right now. No. Okay. Copy link address. Just run this really quickly. Could do the extract in Python as well. Yeah, I could do the extract in Python as well. Could I suppose I could also do the download in Python as well. Oh, I have to do so many things in Python. I believe requests is bundled by default, so I suppose I could do that. Unrecognized. I'm so mad right now. All right, so the way that you can check this, because it just hates how I'm quoting this. So if I use single quotes, it's invalid. If I use double quotes, it's still invalid. It's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. File paths is not this one. I closed it. GitHub, workflows, check OS, please. And then also we need to do Python download and unzip file. Yes. I think that's probably the thing to do. Yeah, see, this is what I was doing. This is what I'm doing. All right. Up. Am I the only one that goes to command mode by pressing Control open square bracket? If only because I'm used to using a non-standard keyboard that did not used to have an escape key, or the escape key was on a different keyboard layer. But now I just use a happy hacking keyboard that actually has an escape key again. But now I just have it It's too ingrained in me to go back. All right. Just leave that there. Once more with feeling. Let's look at this. I don't have URL lib. Is URL lib just included? And then I'm assuming zip file. Is zip file included as well? Is deload? No, this is a pip thing. I could install it. Zip file. I like it when all my stuff is just pre-included. Okay, what's the difference? Oh, actually, no, they just all kind of exploded. Invalid syntax. Oh, you know what? But wait, I did this before. Why did it fail the last time? Whatever. Okay, anyways, let's do this the smarter way. So this is not the URL to the file. This is the Gitto version type string strip string description the major minor patch version in patch format. Most I've seen a lot of people default the JK in insert mode to return. What's JK? To command mode. It's in my own cafe. I never thought about it. I'm a pretty lightweight user. I'm also a pretty lightweight user, says the person that wrote essentially an entire Python module using VI, not even Vim. That's one of the weird things about my job is that, like, even though we quote unquote work with like bleeding edge tech, most of the development environments are like half a decade old. Like I think that like the development environment I was using like was RHEL 6. It was very old, and that was like 2 years ago. And for reference, like I guess the LTS version that's currently out is RHEL 8. All right. So I think I can just do it like this. This is probably easier. And probably the easiest would be to not do it like this and instead have just write like a standalone Python file instead of writing it inline like a psycho. But I'm not known for my good ideas. So here we are. Must import zip file J then K. What does that do? So I do like hello world. Wait. Wait. How do you do that? Is it like shift J, shift K, or is it it's not control J, it's not, no, BS? So true, Vim? What key combo do you press in insert mode to get back to command mode? Like I only know control, open square brackets, and then escape. You enter, yeah, press I, I'm in insert mode, type J then K. Is this like a got 'em? Is this like a ligma? Did I just get ligma'd? You got me, I think. I'm still a little confused, but you got me. It's like a default thing people tend to map. But then what happens if you need to actually type in JK? Like it's like JK is not like an well, I suppose JK might be like an uncommon thing to want to type. That seems pretty wild though. I never thought about it before. I concur. I also have never thought about that before, but that's for entirely different reasons. Yeah. Can't you set environment variables? So I remember I had environment. Yeah, env. So env Godot format. Kind of a weird thing to do. So just gonna grab that. And then we'll just kind of do it inline. There's your architecture. There's your OS. Sorry, OS. And there's your version. Bin version. And then the URL version. That's how you're supposed to do it, right? Bin a little bit. Where is it? Oh, sorry, that's not how you're supposed to do it. It's supposed to just be this. URL version, bin version. I know remap JK escape. Really? Here's evidence people actually do this? People actually do this? To insert meta JK as recommended by many others? Why? Oh, is it like, okay, it's like a repetitive strain injury thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really suffer from RSI, luckily. It's also because I like to stretch my hands at regular intervals, but that might be completely unrelated. Might be more related to adult onset ADHD, but who knows? For the same reason I like using a standing desk. Like, I don't use a standing desk because I like, you know, to stand, or like well, I mean, I do care about my health, but it's more like if I did not have a standing desk, I would just spin in my chair. Which is what I do if I'm ever in an office that has spinning chairs. If no one's around, I'm just gonna spin. You know. Godot version. And the URL. Well, we can do it like this. Kind of a psycho thing to do. Download URL is. Do you think it'll give it to me correctly? I think it might give it to me correctly. Do env video format. And then URL version. See, something I don't always remember about in Python, can you have the same format variable for the same thing? I think you can, but there's something in my head that's telling me that you're not allowed to do that. OS equals. You can. It's like fun. Yes, it is. It is nice, unless I'm not allowed to spin, in which case I just kind of slowly lose my mind. Like, I don't know. Is it because I have like a Is it adult onset ADHD, or is that just like something that people do? Who knows? Current OS is matrix OS, or actually we can do current OS is Windows latest current OS is now. I acknowledge that what I'm doing is kind of psychopathic, but you know, it happens. Win64. Ubuntu latest current OS Linux. Oh, you're not using f strings. I'm not using f strings. That's one of the beautiful things about Python, is that there's one way to do everything except for string handling. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. I think it should still be fine though, right? Like you can use f strings or you can use format to do roughly the same thing, right? No? I don't remember. Look for other platforms. Give me, what does Mac OS look like? Is it Mac? It's Mac OS, Mac OS, okay. So current OS. Wait, stable. Okay, so this is stable Mac OS universal. And then something that I've always hated is the fact that if statements in Python don't create an inner scope, which is very strange. So for my own sanity, I just do like that. Even though I know you don't need to predefine it outside of the if statement. Check you. Yeah, you kind of checked. Yeah, you're you. Thank you, thank you. I've always wanted to be a slime girl. So that's stable Win60. Wait, stable Win60. Wait, stable. Oh, okay. No, it is Win64 exe. Wait, Win64. Wait. Wait, are these all pulling from GitHub? Oh, these are all pulling from GitHub. Huh. Stable Linux x86-64. x86-64. Hold on. Sorry. Win64. x86-64. Arch. We'll just call it current Arch, just so I don't get confused. All right, that feels okay. Git.do file doesn't exist anymore, so we'll just do that. It is going to be a zip file. And then we grab the binary from that, but we also need to remember to unzip it from here. Let me just grab this so I don't forget where I got this from. So file handle, this gives you a tuple. File handle is URL lib request, URL retrieve, URL file object. I'm really just like copying their code at this point. File handle read. I think somewhat uncommonly, I do prefer double quotes over single quotes because there are languages out there that make a distinction. Because was it like single quotes in some languages? I'm trying to remember which language. Is it Perl? Makes a distinction between single quotes and double quotes, and that's where I started doing that. I picked up the habit of just using double quotes for everything. Is it Perl or is it Ruby? I think it's Perl, right? So like the difference is single quotes are for characters, like character arrays, whereas double quotes are for strings, which are still character arrays, but they're handled differently. Object. File is zip file. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know, the more I like write just Python inline, the more I'm like, maybe I should just like split this out into another file. And then I know that you can download this workflow and then pull that file from that path, right? But whatever. Although I guess here, now we can just do with open gitto, right, as f. Sorry. It's, hold on. File write, but how do you write just all of this stuff? Content file read. Like that, and that probably works. So he kind of does the character is S, string is double quotes. Yeah, it might have been from C, but I don't really know C that well. I know enough C to make changes to stuff and build stuff. I know enough C to do a lot of damage, as they say. I know enough about most languages to do a lot of damage. So like I know how to make things compile, but probably not the most people's first choice for making intelligent changes. All right, give me another try, I guess. Oh, actually, sorry. All right, run me again. Run workflow 403. Hopefully that just works. Hopefully that just works. I kind of have my doubts. They all say, oh, because I forgot to change the name. My fault, my fault. I also did not rename this. Download, unzip, gitto. Probably want to cache that. All right, argument must be string, not bytes. Okay, so how do you store, how do you store things into a file object? I think I've only ever written strings to files. So Python writes bytes to file. Python. Oh, in binary mode. That makes sense. All right, one more time. Once more. With feeling. Just do this again real quick. Run workflow in 403. It did appear that it was able to grab all this stuff. All right, so I'm going to refill my drink. I'll be right back. I'm back. Is Windows still going? No, it's just waiting. This one died. Huh? Oh, okay. It kind of worked. Okay, I forgot sudo here. Silly me, I thought I was running as root. And I guess the free runners are just dying. Oh, good. Import OS. No module called request. Does Mac OS not have that? That's concerning. Okay. I'm just following along. Yeah, I can't imagine though how frustrating it is to watch me program when I'm doing things where I don't have immediate access to the documentation. I think that was also a point of feedback I got once when I was doing interviews. Was that like you're not allowed to, we're not interviewing you to see how well you Google, and I was like, huh? What do you mean? It's like I would recommend doing some leak code stuff. I was like, oh, but like, do people actually do leak code without looking at any documentation at all? That's wild. 404 not found. So apparently this does not exist, which is fine. And actually, if I look at this, I don't think Mac OS is supported at all anyways. Yeah, you know what? We don't need Mac OS. Mac is for nerds. All right. So it wasn't able to find that. I wonder if I can just print, because it says for Windows it wasn't able to find it. 404 not found, and I'm not sure what it was actually using. Although I thought I was passing in the correct URL. Right, so Windows standard, it should be 404, wait, 403, wait, 403 stable, sorry, 403 stable, Gitto 403 stable Win64 exe, Win64, oh, there we go, I knew that. All right, so we don't need Mac OS anymore because I don't think most of the stuff is supported on Mac OS anyways. Although it is supported on iOS, so maybe it does work. Yeah, I suppose also I should be trying this on my Mac. I do have a Mac that I mostly just use as like a media consumption device. I said I was, when I got it, I justified it to myself by saying I was going to use this for like testing, and then I have only ever used it for testing, like for vpuppr twice. And then it just decided it was too much of a pain to try to package stuff for Mac. Because it is like a huge pain to package stuff for Mac, right? Because you need to, like, you can't just give people an exe or some sort of binary, right? You need to, you know, it needs to be like an app image. It's not really an app image, but like there's a specific directory structure, blah, blah, blah. It's like packaging stuff for Linux, I would assume. Says the person who has never packaged anything for Linux. But from what I've read, it seems like that's how that would work. No. Oh, I'm dumb. Choco install OpenCV. And then this died because do I need to run apt update? Really? Okay. How curious. Sudo apt update. All right, once more. Into the breach. We're getting somewhere, which is good. What I really hate about CI pipelines is I had to spam commits to build one. I guess I want to build it on a different branch, but still run on push until I'm done, where I switch to workflow trigger. Yeah. I know that you can use GitHub workflow local. You can use this, but I don't like using Docker, and only Docker is the only one that's officially supported to run the stuff locally. Like, I have Podman set up. I really enjoy Podman. But at least on Linux, if you have both Podman and Docker installed, they kind of mess with each other. Source, me on my last laptop. I think it's possibly because I needed to allocate more IDs, because otherwise they were reusing the same kind of namespace ID range, so they were overwriting each other. I don't know. That's my ignorant assertion, but I think that's what happened. Isn't Podman a superset of Docker in a way? They are different, but they, in theory, are completely compatible. So they have the same commands, in theory. But the way that they actually work and are implemented are different. Okay, so what happened here? Permission denied. Oh, is it not? Do I need to commod it? Chmod it? I suppose I could. No. Well, maybe. Well, how do you set? Is it easy to set the executable bit from Python? Or do I need to do like a subprocess run? I'm assuming that it's only something that you need to do on. Like if you try to run it on Windows, it's going to explode. Off to bed though. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the help. Much appreciated. I realize it's been 2 hours and I'm still on this. I thought this would be fairly quick, but it turns out I remember less about GitHub workflows than I thought. That's fine. Yeah, you can use OS chmod. Set executable bit. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I was looking at a different answer on my other tab. You know what? And we're gonna set it in the worst way possible. Current OS is OS chmod. Let's just set it to 777, my favorite. The one that you're not supposed to set it to, but it's whatever. It's a container. What is it gonna do? Hack me? Oh, does it need to be an octal? What the heck? Wouldn't this just be fine then? Just 777? Needs to be octal. Okay. And your application can't be contained. Yeah. Like I know you're not supposed to do it, but I don't really care. It's good enough. It's good enough. Mix up. Go here. Windows is still going though. Windows is still going. Look at that. Ah. Maybe I should kill the workflow and just try again. Cause we'll wait for Windows. I'll wait for Windows. But yeah, thanks for all the help, Azuli. Much appreciated. What would I ever do without you? I'm probably just gonna keep going until I get this done. I do know that this is all honestly probably gonna take a ton of time though. Because even on my system, which is fairly beefy, it takes, I think it takes about 5 minutes. And I'm pretty sure that these runners are not as beefy. How many cores do I have actually? It's also making me very nervous with all these 404s. Please work. Like I'm pretty sure what it's doing is it's just polling for these things. Rules closure, TensorFlow. Wish I understood Bazel better. Then I could write my own Bazel stuff. Now that would be fancy. Because it seems like a very powerful build tool. I just don't really understand like what all the rules are doing. It seems very scary. Suppose I should use this time to look at it. GDMP. Select a folder. Like on one hand, like I kind of understand like it's Starlark. It's some sort of subset of Python that is deterministic, so it will execute the same way every single time. So that's cool. This is just Python, but this stuff, all these like .build files are Starlark, I think, probably. So like this stuff, sure, I guess. I guess I get it. I don't really know what this does. I guess these are all built-ins, even though like I have the Bazel build thing here. But I have to assume that these are built-ins. These are also built-ins. These are also built-ins. Like, there's just a bunch of built-ins that I don't quite understand. And then in addition to all these built-ins, there's like these things that are just strings, but they're also kind of built-in strings. Like, I feel like there's a lot of reading that I need to do. But at least on Windows, it does all this like patching stuff automatically, which is nice. So then now I don't need to worry about this stuff here. No, I mean, it is going. Yeah, love to see it. Oh, you know what? There is a Docker file. I didn't know that there was a Docker file before. No. Don't ever show me. No. Wait, no. Right directory IO. Oh, is this what well, that's interesting. I just realized I forgot one thing in my workflow. Yeah, it's gonna explode. Wait, no, wait. Wait, this tried to run the build GDMP Unix thing. Like, it looks like this execute. Oh. It just got the wrong thing. The repository's path is program data chocolatey lib opencv, but this directory does not exist. Oh, good. Is that not the path? I suppose what I can do. Suppose what I can do. Well, one. Okay, so these are activating the ENVs. Now I also need to check really quick. Let me do this. I'm just gonna put it here. So it's under program data chocolatey lib. So what's under here? And then also the Linux stuff should just kind of work, probably, maybe. Not guaranteed, but it might. You never know. We got farther this time. I'm actually feeling decent about how it's working, especially now that I'm just doing it all kind of inline Python. Inline Python is easier to understand, in my opinion. But I guess at this point, I might as well just... Is there a way to... Like, I know that there's a Node.js integration with GitHub workflows, right? Like GitHub workflow Node.js something. Yeah, Node.js. No, it's not this one. Or is it set up Node and then you can run some Node stuff? LogRocket has some good stuff. I do enjoy looking at LogRocket's tutorials because they're usually pretty well written, generally. Sometimes they're not. No, this is not it. This is just CI/CD, which is still relevant, but not super relevant for what I'm doing. Oh, it's probably extracting it to C, huh? The C drive, not the D drive. Interesting. And it's just currently building it on Unix. Okay. Please. You can do it. I believe. It's taking forever, huh? So build Unix. That's fine. Analyzing target. I just want to see where is this being installed on Windows? Is it on the C drive? Because right now I'm passing it. Oh, I'm checking the C drive here, but I'm passing the D drive. It probably is on the C drive if I had to guess. And then all the work stuff is on the D drive. Why is it called like the C drive and the D drive on Windows? What happened to the A and B drives? I guess that is something I could just Google. Why does Windows start with the C drive? Yeah. Why is Windows giving my hard disk the letter C and not A or B, for example? Wikipedia gives a good explanation. Except for C, P, and M, and early versions of MS-DOS, the operating systems assigns drive letters according to the following algorithm. Assign the drive letter A to the first floppy disk drive, B to the second floppy disk drive, if present. And then assign a drive letter beginning with C to the first active primary partition recognized upon the first physical hard disk. Interesting. Oh, and then we just exploded. That's good. Hold on. Oh, interesting. So it's under C tools. Okay. So it's under tools? I don't know. We'll just try this again. What's under C tools? And if there is a C tools, what's under C tools? Chocolatey. And if there is a chocolatey, what's under /lib? All right, where's Ubuntu at? It's looking pretty good right now. He says as oh geez, is this single threaded? Maybe dual threaded? Triple threaded? Because it did jump. Well, maybe it doesn't really make a huge difference. Anyways, cancel the workflow. I have a good feeling about that. I think it's under tools chocolatey lib, if I had to guess. All right, once more. Let's go. Manually run, blah, blah, blah. I think something I probably should be doing is extracting this stuff into its own file. Well, no, because I can't extract it into its own file. Well, maybe I could. Well, maybe I couldn't. Well, maybe I could. Because one of the things is that I'm using some string formatting to inject like the Godot version and the Godot format into here. Which is it's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Okay, I'm pretty sure this will work. Waiting for a hosted runner to come online. I believe you can do it. I guess it is better for this just to not do anything, I suppose. I think what I can do right now as well is go to here. Am I looking at anything weird? Nope. So GDMP. Yeah. So get pull upstream. Oop. Get check out. Flow. Then what we can do, copy recursive GDMP test. Eh. No. Task. Hub. Sorry, GitHub. Copy that here. So we should have GitHub. There we go. There's your workflows. So I can actually push that right now and label that as a draft just to be like, hey, I'm doing a thing. I'm doing a thing. I'm being helpful. Probably. Sometimes it can be hard to say if I'm actually being helpful as opposed to being annoying. Oh no. No directory specified. Hey, don't know. Where did this install to? Oh, it's under just OpenCV? Just under OpenCV? Okay. So tools, just OpenCV, and then that's it. Okay, interesting. I hope that's actually it. We can check later. Then here, let me just push whatever I have here. Nope, that's the test. Well, I mean, I might as well push whatever I have here, right? Copy GDMP. Workflow test GitHub. Build YAML to my GitHub workflows, build YAML. GitHub. Add automated manual for Linux and Windows. Oh, not master feature, add GitHub workflow. And then here, just go here, compare and pull request. Mark it as a draft. Separate repo. I mean, it seems to be going. Look at it go. And then, of course, I need some way to upload. So let's see. vpuppr does a nightly release like this. So you need to pack stuff into a tar. So actually, where does this usually build the DLL? I need to check. Let me see. So here for vpuppr, I did set tar name. Don't need to do set tar name. Or I suppose I can do set tar name, right? Set tar name. Run, so echo. Tar name is equal to GDMP. This will be probably matrix OS, right? Matrix OS. Don't really need current date time, although that is something that I have configured. Well, actually, how do you get the current date time? When did I calculate that? Current date time? Set current date. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. If they want more stuff, then they can ask, I suppose. GitHub. ENB. Also need to keep an eye on this. Because I can move it over here. Look at that. Wow. Double screens. My favorite. So pack release. TarDZ. Oh, actually, I don't need to have separate steps. I can just do this, I suppose. Actually, that makes me wonder, why did I do these in separate steps? And also, where is the final binary? I'm actually, the final binary is probably just here, right? It's under GDMP tasks. Wait, what? Am I stupid? I might be stupid. Oh, I'm stupid? Right here. Actually, well, yeah, where does it place it again? It's been a little bit. GDMP. Where did it place it? I don't remember. Is it under desktop? I believe that's usually where it places it, but I don't remember. Yeah, and then these are all the files and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it actually worked, by the way. So if I go under desktop, I should have some sort of DLL, and then from that DLL, you should be able to do stuff. Actually. There's the GD extension, but then where's the actual... I gotta think. Maybe it's just in the repo. I don't remember. Where do they say it's placed? Oh, it's just under basil bin. Okay. Basil bin GDMP. Okay, and then there's your DLL, or what should be a DLL. No, oh, under desktop, sorry. Yeah, there is your DLL, okay. So, it's going to be tar, compress, gzip, verbose, file. Ooh. Let's do it like this. And then it's going to be media pipe, basil bin, desktop, all. Yeah, okay, that's pretty easy. Pretty simple, Just whatever's in there, just kind of pack it into there. Oh, you know what? That's not quite true, because you also need to pack the GD extension into there as well. And so the GD extension is under add-ons. So I suppose what it should be doing is this. So you want to do everything that's here on the copy. Copy recursive to add-ons GDMP. Yeah, add-ons GDMP. Just kind of place it there, I think. Add-ons GDMP. Then there's your GDMP extension. So cat GDMP G extension. Okay. And they did not keep the file there. Can you copy something while also creating the parent directories? I know you can make directory. Okay. We can do it like this, then. So I make directory, right? It's make directory P, right? Parents, yeah. So add-ons libs x8664. Lib x8664. That's probably pretty close, if I had to guess. And actually, we want to copy all the files inside of it, so I think that's what you want to do. And then grab add-ons, GDMP, lib, or just add-ons, right? So everything that's under add-ons, like that. And then upload artifact. Oh, that's why I needed the project tar name, and that's why I did it in a separate step. That's right. Set tar name shell bash, and then we'll do echo equal to GitHub, and then we can reference this here. so. Or actually, you need to access it like this. env project tar name. Upload artifact. Uses actions. Upload artifact. That's v3. Name. It's like env project tar name. Like that, maybe. I believe this is correct. ls tools. So we'll just do this. Pretty easy. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Send it. I don't know why I'm doing fix up instead of just overwriting. It doesn't really make a huge difference, right? Because this is just a testing repository anyways. Workflows, build, yeah. See, this one, it does matter, right? Because this is the main stuff. Oh, probably should not have done that. Oh, no, that's fine. All right, this has been pushed. Then we can do this. Give it a try. 4.3. Then I'll submit a PR, and I think I'm pretty close to having this working, which is nice. The idea is that can be using hubs, good runners. For now, artifacts just be uploaded artifacts, but this can be to also create new releases. Is being used. There we go. think that's a that makes sense probably. But it is a draft. It's looking pretty good to me, I think. I guess we'll see if it fails though. It says it installed it under tools OpenCV, so I hope that's the correct OpenCV directory. Yeah, it looks fine, I guess. I think this looks, the rest of it looks okay, in my opinion. The rest of it looks okay. Or at least could be a lot worse. Could be a lot worse. Okay, but I'm pretty sure the Ubuntu stuff is just gonna work. Now the building for Windows part, I'm less certain about. But at least I have all this stuff just kind of working now. All right, just put this over here and I'll look at other stuff. I suppose what I really should do here though is that instead of having this just kind of float here, I should pack this as a Python file and then like a separate Python file, like download godot.py, right? Then I just extract that. Although one of the issues you might be noticing is that I need to read in arguments. I'm assuming arg parses here though. So if we just we hit it with an import arg parse, it does make it harder to test. That's also fairly, that's a good reason why I should be testing this in a separate repo or in the same repo, because then it's just easier to pull in the dependencies. I'll think about it. So name is main, whatever. I'll grab all of this. This stuff will not be present, but I just import arg parse. Parser, so arg parse, argument parser. Parser, add arguments. Ha ha ha. Current OS. I guess that does make it easier for me to test this locally as opposed to having to just test this in a workflow. The GitHub runner being used. Add arguments. And actually, doesn't these all run consecutively, right? So it's actually better to do it like this, so you pass it as flags. So I need current OS. Oh, that's really it. So actually, never mind. We don't need to do it as a flag. Those are for nerds. Parse args. Oh, actually, we need the current OS and the Godot version. So actually, current OS, parser, add arguments, Godot version. Download. Right, so then this is We can make it required, right? So required is true. OS. Oh, and the format string. Well, we can always just grab this format string, that's fine. URL. Like so. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. URL. Version, current OS, and current architecture. Don't show again. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, I think. Yeah. And then the big difference is that then you'll need to have an additional step where you grab this repository. I mean, if this works, then I can go into the other repo, change the default branch for a little bit, and then test it there. Which I guess defeats the purpose. You know, Windows latest is looking pretty good. Ubuntu latest also looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. With this stuff, I think that makes sense here. So we'll start changing stuff around to make it more ergonomic. We can do just give me bash and I'll just run it like this. Python GitHub workflows download do.py. Hold on. What was it? No, you're not supposed to do it like that, but that's good enough for now. So that's not Godot, it's GitHub. And then I just need to pass in the current OS, which is the matrix OS. Version is the inputs Godot version. Yeah, something like that, right? And then that should just work. How does running stuff from Bash or from the workflow work again? Python. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that is how you have to do it. Yeah. Like you could do it inline, but what's the point, right? I think if you do it this way, it's just easier to maintain, I think. that. So we just don't support. Just don't support whatchamacallit, Mac OS. Download godot.py, GMP. Okay, I think that makes sense. So here, let's just go over the steps one more time just to make sure I'm not insane. No, actually, you don't need the Godot format anymore. Cool, cool, cool. So now it's a bit cleaner. Bit snazzier. All right. Cannot stat. Mediapipe basil bin. No such file or directory. I gotta think. So if this is just like the last thing we need to do, then I'll just pay attention to what GDMP Windows is doing. We'll wait. And by wait, I mean I'm going to close this, and then we'll just have to shift over my repository anyways, because I think it is better just to demonstrate that it does work in the regular repository. Which is, I guess, something I should have done before, but here we are. Yeah, there it is. I was being resistant to change because I didn't want to have to change the default branch, because it is kind of a pain to have to do that. Then we can go, not here, just close some of these windows. I have too many windows open. Ironic, since I'm using an operating system called Windows. Haha. So add GitHub workflow. All right, so let's just change it just so it's easier. GitHub workflow. Change the default, and then we can start running jobs here. Has a workflow dispatch trigger. I did submit that PR, right? Yeah, okay. For final testing. All right, so the problem is that it can't find that repository. So, or not that repository, but that folder. So let me think. Is it not there? If it's not there, then that's kind of a problem. So I would think that works, right? Is that not how that works? That might not be how that works. So am I not able to do, like, just run these steps, right? So make directory, parent, add-ons, GMP, x86 64. So that works, obviously. The media pipe. Bazel. Oh, you know what? On Linux, it might be different on Linux. That's right. No, it's there. Yeah. Bazel bin desktop. Oh, it's not Bazel bin desktop. It's Bazel bin GDMP. GDMP. I see. Bazel bin GDMP desktop. To add-ons GDMP lib blah blah. Omitting directories. That's fine, right? Like you don't need the run files as long as it copies the rest of the stuff. Or just like the DLLs or the DLLs or SO files. I suppose I should do it like this. So if matrix OS is... Oh, and this is wrong. Yeah, it's all the DLLs. Kind of a pain. It's not even Windows, it's Windows latest. You big dummy. Ubuntu latest. And then Mac OS latest. What does Mac OS use? Like dilibs? Would it be compiled as a dilib? I don't know. But I think that's correct. Right? So all the .so files. DLL, yeah, I think that's fine. That's probably fine. As long as the Windows thing finishes up properly, I think I should be good to go, probably. And then I can, okay, I can actually trigger another workflow. I don't even need to wait for this one to finish. I can just send it. 4.0.3. Just let it go. Please work. Oh, okay. So it's the branch. Okay. And I guess I don't have a 4.0 branch. So what is the default ref for a GitHub action branch? GitHub action checkout. Sorry. Okay, so just ref. We can do branch type string. branch or tag to check out. Default. Like that. All right, run me again, please. So it should just check out the default one, hopefully. Not sure. Okay, cool. Cool. Download and unzip Godot. This is the important bits, because now it's all self-contained. Let's go. I think it worked. Okay, look at it go. Yeah, and then on the other side, the Windows build is just going. You love to see that. Look at that. Feels good, man. Oh, baby. All right, so this is just going to take forever. And I think I also need to look into caching actions. So how do you do GitHub workflow cache? Yeah, caching dependencies to speed up workflows. Workflows often reuse the same outputs or downloaded dependencies. Put this over here so I can just kind of look at it. Comparing artifacts and dependency caching. Artifacts and caching are similar because they provide the ability to store files on GitHub, but each feature offers different use cases and cannot be used interchangeably. Accessing a cache. Access restrictions provide cache isolation security by creating a logical boundary between different branches or tags. Workflow runs can restore caches created in either the current branch or the default branch, usually main. If a workflow run is triggered for a pull request, it can also restore caches created in the base branch, including base branches of forked repositories. For example, if the branch feature B has a base branch feature A workflow run triggered on a pull request would have access to caches created in the default main branch, the base feature A branch, and the current feature B branch. Workflow runs cannot restore caches created for child branches or sibling branches. For example, a cache created for a child feature B branch would not be accessible for a workflow run triggered on the parent's main branch. Similarly, a cache created for the feature A branch with the base main would not be accessible to its sibling feature C branch with the base main. Did I say that right? Workflow runs also cannot restore caches created for different tag names. For example, a cache created for the tag release A with the base main would not be accessible to a workflow run triggered for the tag release B with the base main. When a cache is created by a workflow run triggered on a pull request, the cache is created for the merge refs pull blah blah image or blah blah merge. Because of this, the cache will have a limited scope and can only be restored by reruns of the pull request. It cannot be restored by the base branch or other pull requests targeting that base branch. Multiple workflow runs in the repository can share caches. A cache created for a branch in the workflow run can be accessed and restored by another workflow run for the same repository and branch. Good to know. Cache action. I said all that out loud, but I still didn't really catch that. Or cache that. guess I don't really understand. What do you mean? Key created when saving a cache, and the key used to search for a cache can be any combination of variables, contexts. Okay, so what I can do is I can cache the Godot version, so I don't need to download it over and over again. Yeah. I think I still need to do all the other setup stuff though. But at least for the Godot binary, you don't need to pull it every single time. I mean, that would be nice. So pass on the runner does cache or restore. Did it work? Oh, it died. Okay, so Windows failed. Oh, okay, so the OpenCV2. It got really close. It got really, really close, but the OpenCV2 stuff is kind of borked still. And I'm also overtime. I don't really want to work at it anymore. But I do understand what needs to be done. One, I think I should use a cache. So to-dos. Go binary. Fix building on Windows. It looks like the OpenCV path that is wrong. Something like that. And I guess verify. Line build. Yeah. I think that makes sense. That seems reasonable, probably. I don't know. But it gets far enough when building Windows. It's still missing OpenCV2, which is, I mean, that's pretty bad. You know what? Actually, I can test that really quickly. Move me back. Just move me over here, I guess. So we can do I think nothing needs to change here for now, but we go to dev, GDMP, workflow test, select. And so then we can just yeet all of this. So say goodbye. Oh, no, don't run it. No, stop. Delete, don't run it. Why would I ever want to run it in the integrated terminal? But install OpenCV. So don't run this on anything else. I guess we can check out this repo, that's fine. So just on Windows latest. Check OpenCV dir. So hit it with one of these, and then it's under C tools, OpenCV. So in theory, it should be there, but in practice, I'm not sure. Oh, am I in the wrong one? Like so, git push force, and then we'll just run this again. Oh, and actually, we don't even need any of these, right? We just need a workflow dispatch. So run me. All it's gonna do is just install OpenCV and then check check its location. It does look like it was able to upload the artifact for Ubuntu. So that's cool. And then I'll just be here. Oh, well, close. No files were found with the provided path. Oh, it didn't pack it. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Oh, it's probably because it used the wrong stuff. Give me one sec. GDMP. Oh, Ubuntu. There we go. Fat fingered it. A classic. Just preemptively squash commits, and then that should be fine. So how is the other GitHub action going? Where is it? Here? Check OpenCV directory. So okay, what's here? Where is it? It's under build. Oh, fantastic. Okay. It's under build. Beautiful. Workflow file. And I think that's actually where the defaults look for stuff as well. So we can actually run this action again. It's really quick. All right. Oh, my back. What's it looking like? What's it looking like? I wonder if I should also like save this, since that's pretty chunky. Pretty chunky. It's a pretty chunky folder, especially since it's the same like version every time, right? Yeah, so I think you could. There's a lot of workflow pushes. So what do you got? Tools. Okay, that looks about right. So under here, it's usually looking for something called like x64, which I also have under this directory. So under scoop app oops, OpenCV current. Yeah, then I have the same. Okay, cool. So that should actually work probably. I can cancel this workflow. Do I need to push anything here? No, I think we're good. So then I can actually run the workflow for 4.0.3, run me, send me. Yeah. And then also the tar stuff should also just work. But I think one of the more important things is one, caching the Godot binary. I think that's fairly important. And then secondarily is caching OpenCV on Windows. I'm not sure how feasible it is to cache OpenCV on like Ubuntu. Like maybe that's not even a good idea in the first place. I suppose in that case, you would want to build an image, like a Docker image, and then cache that Docker image instead, right? I don't know. We'll think about it. But I'll leave this to run. If you're interested in looking at whatever the results are. There they are. How cool. How fancy. I will update this PR here. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be live Tuesday probably if I'm not like too tired, as I've been recently. Work's been getting kind of rough. But anyways, GDMP, Geometry Dash multiplayer. You know, Geometry Dash, surprisingly popular. That game came out when I was still a teenager actually, but I never really played it. But it's, for whatever reason, very popular nowadays. I guess kind of like Roblox. Like Roblox also came out when I was a teenager, but I just never played it. But now everyone and their mother plays Roblox now. Is this how it is to get old? It's like, oh yeah, those things came out when I was young, but then like they kind of sucked at the time. But now everyone's really into it. But GDMP is this thing here. It's Godot mediapipe. It's a face tracking solution that is directly integrated with Godot. Pretty cool. Gives you face tracking, which is what I'm looking to integrate with this program. I wrote this virtual public project. Is I believe this macro should work. Yeah. Bot hasn't died yet, mostly because I kill the bot at 4 a.m. every day. Because for whatever reason, the Twitch API key does not refresh properly. So I need to roll my own Twitch library instead of using whatever other people are using. Because I guess other people don't write Twitch bots in Rust. Or at least long-running Twitch bots. Yeah. Anyways, give me stars, etc., etc. There's my GitHub. You can find all my repos there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be live Tuesday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, working on this probably, or I might be sleeping, who knows. Goodbye.